Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good weekend, and welcome back to Pacific Drive. We're at the point where I still need to craft a limb shield in order to successfully navigate through the deep zone wall and make it into the inner zone. Before we do that though, there's an item that has been bugging me. There's this car upgrade, it's called the Lazarus Device, and with this thing equipped, it essentially makes it impossible for your car to be destroyed. Here's the problem. I have everything that I need to construct this device, except I need to scan a Remnant Ghost. Where the hell am I going to find a Remnant Ghost? There's a number of these upgrades that are locked until you've managed to successfully scan some kind of anomaly within one of the zone sectors. But it's easy to spot the anomalies because they're anomalous. A Remnant Ghost, on the other hand, is my car here is a remnant. It just looks like a car, and that's the thing about remnants. They can look like absolutely anything. To make matters worse, my car is the first remnant that's been seen in the zone in something like 20 years. Previous remnants manifested as things like cans of paint, toasters. How the hell am I going to know a remnant ghost when I see it? That's the first problem, and it's a fairly big problem. The second problem, of course, is due to the rarity of remnants. I could wander the entire zone and never see one, even if I knew what it was I was supposed to be looking for, because my car is the first remnant that's been seen in the zone in 20 years. So how am I going to scan a remnant ghost? First I need to know what the remnant looks like in the first place, and it could look like anything. And then I need to find a dead one. I mean, it seems impossible, right? Well, not exactly. If you're wondering why I'm stripping everything valuable off the car, well, the car is a remnant, and I know what the car looks like. So in theory, I just need to kill the car. If I do that, I'll know exactly where the car died, and therefore I'll know exactly where the remnant ghost is. In theory. Does sound a bit dangerous though. So if I'm going to wreck the car, I don't want to have to worry about repairing everything on the car. And it will make it substantially easier to destroy the car if I take all of the panelling off. Because these are the things that give the car the damage resistance. So everything needs to come off. All of the panelling. The backseat fuel tank. The roof racks. Absolutely everything needs to go. The lead-plated door. Everything that keeps the car, and by extension me, alive out in the zone, I need to get rid of. I'm going to have to fit tyres, of course, but I don't want to waste my all-terrain tyres. So I'm going to have to make some crude tyres, the cheapest possible tyres, that use the least possible resources. I don't want to have to make another turbo light engine either, so I might have to replace that with a cheap and nasty carburetted engine. Get rid of all of the good stuff like the bio headlights. And then once the car has basically been stripped back down to the basics, the plan is take it out into the zone, kill it, and then go looking for the body. So with the car stripped, I plan a quick jaunt to the nearest relatively safe outer zone junction. Although there are currently extreme conditions in this zone, particularly the intense radiation. But in theory that should just make it easier for me to wreck the car. Now bear in mind this whole process, and I know it sounds kind of weird saying this because the entire point of me doing this is to destroy the car, but this entire procedure is not without certain risks, because by destroying the car, I'm basically going to kill myself. Although, what will happen, or what should happen, is what happens anytime you're out in the zone and the car reaches zero durability. An emergency teleport is activated, porting you straight back to the garage at the moment of death, and ending the run. And holy shit, it's dark out here without headlights. Right. One thing that could go potentially wrong here, and given that I'm here to destroy the car, I don't know why I'm avoiding the tourists, but Yeah. With zero paneling and zero protection, the car is offering zero resistance to the environmental hazards, like the intense radiation. So I am taking damage, personally, just by being out here. And I don't know what's going to happen if I die before the car does. It might still work, but it might not. So just to be safe, I kind of need to make sure that the car reaches zero health before I do. Oof, yeah, there you go. I mean, you can see the car's health bar just up there to the top right of the steering wheel. That rapidly dropping, which is fine, this is the plan. Currently red with not many bars of red left. Health indicator. I need to get that down to zero. Which, you know, driving into trees and all that sort of thing is happening very quickly. Riding over the occasional tourist when I find one is also getting stuff done. My health is down to 70%. Oh, 68%. So I need to deplete all of the car's protection and then effectively kill myself while in the car. Now, depleting the car's protection, especially when it actually has no protection, is not a problem. It's the killing yourself while driving your car part that is. Because I didn't realise until I set out to actually do this, that the game does actually have a sort of built-in stop killing yourself, you dumbass protection. That's what happens when I get down to low health. Yeah, 52%, I'm going to need to get lower than that. It's surprising how much protection the car actually offers you, even with no doors and panelling. Okay, it's now telling me I need to use a healing item. I'm down to below 50%. Watch what happens when I get down even lower than that. When you get down to 10% health, a couple of things happen. First, you can barely see where you're going anywhere because of all the blood obscuring your vision. But getting to 10% isn't that difficult. Getting below and staying below 10%, however, is. Because once you go below 10% health, you automatically get a free heal back up to 10% health. God damn it. So when you get to this stage, you basically need to find a way of chopping 10% of your health off. If not in one go, then as quickly as possible before the auto heal kicks back in and puts you back up to 10%, making it virtually impossible for you to kill yourself no matter how hard you're trying to. It's actually surprisingly difficult to die in this game. And I despaired of ever actually getting it done until I found a nice expanding radiation field, and I thought, oh yeah, your health doesn't recover when you're in. That'll do. Success! Well, failure. Successfully. So, I died, back to the garage, leaving behind me the wreck of a dead remnant in a relatively safe and easily accessible outer zone section.
You have driven a car before, haven't you? I'm just curious.
Yeah, thanks, Oppie. Nobody likes a smart arse. The car is absolutely wrecked, of course, as am I. I'm going to need to heal up here. But that, of course, was the point. And the only things on the car that need repairing are, well, I may as well just scrap the carburetted engine, because I stripped off the much more efficient turbo... Well, not efficient. The Turbolight engine is a lot more powerful and generates a lot more torque, but it is way less fuel efficient. I might want to save the carburetted engine as a backup, though, just in case anything does go wrong with the Turbolight and I don't have materials to make a new one. And I can always repair it for free by sticking it in the matter regenerator. Then it's just a question of putting everything back on the car that I stripped off so that I wouldn't have to repair it after coming back from this particularly ill-fated expedition. If, like me, you're particularly crap and forgetful, the game puts a handy red marker on the route planner to let you know exactly where it was you destroyed the car. And then it's just a question of heading back into the relevant zone. Helps if you stick a marker down on the GPS, which will indicate the position, by the way, of where your car was wrecked. And then driving back to the car. And lo and behold, we have ourselves a Remnant Ghost. There it is. Now, if you do what I did and you strip the car of everything valuable and useful before you go out and do this, there's going to be very little on it that's actually capable of being salvaged. But you scan it, and there you go, Remnant Ghost unlocked. I could scrap the spare tyre for rubber, I suppose. Let's see, it basically had 4 tyres and an engine. Oh, apparently there's... Oh, I forgot to take the insulated bumper off. Okay, well, we'll scrap that. And that's basically it. But, I mean, the purpose of this wasn't to go back and look for salvage. We'll scrap the carbureted engine. The purpose of this was to kill the car so that it would generate a Remnant Ghost anomaly that I could scan in order to unlock the Lazarus Device. And we have now successfully done exactly that. One thing that it is very important to remember, however, when you're heading out here to scan the Remnant Ghost that you created on your previous excursion, is this is not supposed to be a one-way trip. You are going to need to pick up some anchor energy in order to open a portal and actually get out of here in one piece without dying and generating another Remnant Ghost all over again. Admittedly this time with lots and lots of useful salvage on it, but at the expense of ruining all of the equipment that you have in your nice shiny new car. So make sure you pluck enough anchors in order to generate a gateway portal and then get out of there before the zone closes in. Because I can't think of many things that would be more embarrassing than getting yourself killed and generating a Remnant Ghost on the expedition to scan the Remnant Ghost from the expedition that you deliberately gotten yourself killed in order to generate the Remnant Ghost in the first place. This is not something that you should be doing twice. But it's an outer zone gateway. I mean, the roads here are fine. This one is closing in rather quickly though. But yeah, this is fine. I made sure I opened the portal when I was just far enough away to actually be able to do it, but while at the same time being close enough that there's absolutely no pressure whatsoever in getting to the portal before the zone closes in. Nice and easy. And we're gonna live. This time. Taking a sweet time loading in. Okay, we're back. So we got some energy, although the stable energy isn't amazingly useful at this point.
It's a really good thing I never kept any mirrors in that garage. Better not to know if you've been teleported with your head on backwards.
Well, I say that. I mean, I need unstable energy and corrupted energy to fuel most of the upgrades that I need to research at the fabricator, but the stable energy always comes in useful for diagnosing quirks at the repair station. So, but anyway, the point was to unlock the Lazarus Device. And now, having successfully generated and scanned a Remnant Ghost, where is it? That's the Nitro Boost. That's not the Lazarus Device. Where's the Lazarus Device? There it is. I can now fabricate the Lazarus Device, which means in theory, with this thing equipped, it should be, well, basically impossible to die out in the zone anymore, no matter how hard you might be deliberately trying to do it. Next on the checklist of things to do, get through the crossing into the deep zone. What could possibly go wrong? Join me in the next video and maybe we'll find out. In the meantime, hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope you're all having a great weekend, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.